As iOS 26 approaches its public release, the sixth developer beta serves as a critical milestone, transitioning from broad feature introductions to nuanced refinement and user experience consolidation. The updates within Beta 6 are not merely isolated tweaks. They represent the culmination of Apple's strategic vision for its next-generation mobile operating system. This analysis deconstructs the key changes, revealing a deliberate effort to engineer the perception of speed, polish a new design language based on user feedback, finalize core interaction models, and proactively manage the user transition to a significantly overhauled interface. A standout change in iOS 26 Beta 6 is a dramatic enhancement to the perceived velocity of the operating system, achieved through a redesigned app launch animation. The time elapsed between a user tapping an application icon and the app appearing fully on screen has been noticeably made shorter. This improvement is not necessarily due to faster underlying content loading, but is instead an exercise in masterful user experience engineering. Apple has significantly sped up the animation itself, creating a powerful illusion of enhanced performance and snappiness. This change is deeply interconnected with other kinetic adjustments introduced in recent betas. In Beta 5, Apple added a new bouncy animation to the lock screen passcode entry, and when swiping through pages in the Control Center. The faster app launch animation in Beta 6 incorporates a very slight bounce, creating a consistent physical language across the system. This is a concerted effort to unify the experiential feel of the new liquid glass design aesthetic. The visual theme of liquid glass is one of fluidity and translucence. These new physics-based animations provide the kinetic counterpart to that visual. By making interactions feel more elastic, dynamic, and immediate, Apple ensures the OS not only looks more modern, but feels faster and more responsive, creating a holistic experience that engages both visual and tactile senses. Complementing the significant visual and kinetic overhaul is an update to the system's audio palette. iOS 26 Beta 6 introduces a collection of new ringtones, a classic component of any major OS refresh that contributes to the feeling of a new device. The additions include a new original ringtone named Little Bird, and several new variants of the existing Reflection ringtone. The naming convention of these new variants, Buoyant, Dreamer, Tech, Pop, Reflected, and Surge, appears to be a deliberate act of sensory branding. The evocative names align closely with the light, fluid, and dynamic nature of the liquid glass visual theme. This suggests Apple is not simply adding a random assortment of sounds, but is carefully curating an audio palette that sonically represents the core principles of the iOS 26 design language. This subtle harmonization of the auditory, visual, and tactile experience is a sophisticated branding technique that aims to create a more immersive and cohesive feel for the entire operating system. A major visual redesign can be disorienting for users, a lesson Apple learned from the controversial launch of iOS 7, the last update to feature such a dramatic aesthetic shift. With iOS 26 and its liquid glass overhaul being positioned as the most significant design change since that era, Apple is taking proactive steps to manage the transition. Upon updating to Beta 6, users are now greeted with an introductory video that guides them through the new design changes. This onboarding video is a strategic communication tool designed to mitigate the shock of the new. Rather than simply dropping a redesigned interface on its user base, Apple is actively guiding them into it. This approach frames the changes in a positive light, explains the design philosophy, and reduces the potential for confusion or negative initial reactions. Combined with the iterative public beta process that has allowed users to acclimate to the changes gradually, the inclusion of this video demonstrates a more considered and user-aware approach to deploying a major UI overhaul, aiming for a smoother and more positive public reception than past redesigns. The core communication apps have received substantial upgrades focused on intelligence and convenience. Phone app. The interface has been redesigned to present contacts, recent calls, and voicemails on a single scrollable screen. Two powerful new features have been added. Messages app. Group chats are now more functional with the ability to create polls, simplifying group decision-making. To combat spam, the app will automatically filter messages from unknown senders into a dedicated folder. For personalization, users can now set custom backgrounds for individual message threads. FaceTime. A new communication safety feature, designed primarily for child safety, uses on-device machine learning to detect nudity in a video stream. If detected, the video is paused and an alert is shown, with all processing occurring on the device to protect user privacy. Beyond communication, iOS 26 infuses more intelligence into the system and revamps key applications. Live translation. This feature provides real-time, on-device translation of conversations during phone calls and within the Messages app, breaking down language barriers. Visual intelligence. Functioning like a supercharged reverse image search, this tool allows users to search for anything visible on their screen. For example, a user could take a screenshot of a product in a social media post and use visual intelligence to find it for sale online. Photos app. In a direct response to user feedback on previous design changes, Apple has reinstated separate, distinct tabs for Library and Collections. This change makes navigation more straightforward and reduces the need for endless scrolling to find specific albums or photo groups. Camera app. The camera interface has been streamlined with a simplified design that features prominent photo and video toggles. Other shooting modes and settings are now tucked away in pop-out menus, creating a less cluttered viewfinder. Apple Games app. Apple is introducing a new dedicated application for gaming. This app will serve as a central hub for discovering and playing games from both the App Store and Apple Arcade, and it will integrate social features like leaderboards and friend achievements from Game Center.